Hello and welcome to Mostly Minnesota Music Podcast Edition. I'm Ann Tracy. I'm here with my co-host,
Heather Baker.
yeah, and we are here with Aibai. Aibai, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, we are excited to talk to you. You produce music. You just have a EP that's come out fairly recently, but
Yep.
you've been playing music for a number of years.
Yeah, I've been producing for about 3 years, but I started playing piano and guitar when I was like 5-ish about. Mhm.
Do you come from a musical family? How did that come about?
Honestly, I don't. I'm the only one.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess I just like my mom wanted to like get me involved, so she like signed me up for like different things. And the lessons actually only lasted like a year or two because I'm just like not a fan of like that style of learning. So I stopped and then I did like watch YouTube videos and that's kind of just how I taught myself. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So tell us, how did you get to what you're doing now?
So I went to the University of Minnesota and I actually just graduated in spring of 2020. One of my roommates knew someone who went to IPR, which is a music school downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And she like was like, you should check them out, like they're really cool. So he like gave me a tour of the school and I was like, oh my God, like this is super cool. And so I immediately like went home and downloaded Ableton, which is the software I used to produce. And then I took a music class at this other production school in Northeast Minneapolis. And that's just kind of how it all started. Yeah.
Did you study music at the U?
No, I actually majored in psychology, but I don't really plan on doing anything with that.
Well, we have two psychology majors in the room.
Really?
I'm not one of them.
Are you one, Heather?
Yes, that leaves me.
Okay.
Yes, I love psychology.
That's cool. Are you like a
I was going to say,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, no, nothing to do with psychology,
Okay. Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's just how my brain works. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like interesting. I just obviously would rather pursue music. So, yeah.
I think there must be an element of psychology to it, knowing how people would react to certainly certain lyrics and things, certain sounds.
Definitely.
I think it's a great major to get because it really can help through a wide range of.
Yeah. That's definitely why I chose it. It's like it's very broad, so I could truly go into so many different like fields of work. But
I think I had a friend who went to her undergraduate was pre-vet. About senior year, she decided she didn't want to be a vet.
Oh, really?
You painted yourself in a corner at that point.
Yeah.
But no, I think that it must relate a lot. So that's interesting. So you started playing music at 4 or 5. When did you start producing songs?
So I started in 2018 when I was a sophomore. Yeah, 2018. So about 3 years ago, I started with doing like bootleg remixes. So I would just find like acapellas of songs I liked and then completely like remake the music and then like put the vocals over it. And I was just putting those on SoundCloud. But then I made my first like song for Spotify a year ago about today. Well, not like today, but it was in March. But yeah, so that's kind of how that started.
Congratulations. That's great. And well, and that kind of answers it doesn't answer my question. It means I'm going to ask. So you've got this new EP out and you've got a few songs and you've got some great partners that you're working with there. And I'm thinking first of Glow.
Yeah.
And you work with Des, who's from Aibais.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What is the level of collaboration there? Do you come up? Well, I'll just leave it there. How do you work together?
So with Glow, basically I made like a full arrangement like musically. And then I sent it to him and then he was super fast. He literally got me the vocals back in less than a week. And he just said like it came really naturally to him. So like uh it was like definitely like a fun process for him. And it's also something different because I don't know if you know what Early Eyes sounds like. It's very
Yes,
different.
yeah, I've seen them. Yeah, yeah, very different.
Very different. But so with Glow, it was just like one back and forth. Like I sent him the music and then he sent me the vocals. But with other songs like the one Colby is on, More Than
Mhm.
Friends, she added a couple instruments to it. So there's more like back and forth. But typically I make the music and then I send it to someone and then they put vocals on it and then I mix and master.
Excuse me.
Do
have any
you
dis-
have like a vibe? Oh, sorry, my leg. I was just going to ask if you had like a vibe or something that you tell them when you send your file to them, or do you
Yes.
let them have the freedom to?
It depends. With some songs, like I don't really know like what I'm looking for, and then it's exciting to see what they come up with. Um, and other times I'll be like, okay, this is what I want. I want it to be like either like sad or like ambient or like upbeat, and maybe I'll send them like a couple songs for reference that are like what I'm going for. But typically, like I just let them do what they want to do because like I feel like it's their song as much as it is mine, and like I don't want to feel like I'm controlling them or like restricting their creativity. So I usually just let them do what they want to do. Yeah.
That's amazing. I, I mean, we talk to a lot of musicians, and some of them are very controlled, and some of them are very open like that. But it's
Yeah.
but you've really got to where it is very open. You're not necessarily in the same room, and of course, nobody's been in the same room for the last year. I guess that's a part of it too.
Yeah.
What
But I
is
mean, sorry, what?
what inspires you to do each song? Where do you take inspiration from?
Um, a lot of times, like I'll just be like listening to music and I'll be like, wow, like I really like that song. Like I want to make something with a similar like vibe or energy. Um, or like I don't know, like maybe like something happens and then I'll be like, I want to make a song that reflects like how that made me feel or like a person, you know? So yeah.
That would be. Uh, I'm envious of that ability to go. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna spin that into something different.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not easy. I sometimes sit at my computer or at my piano or guitar or whatever for like hours being frustrated and then yeah, it takes time for sure.
How long does that? I mean, how you get an idea, and then what do you do?
Basically, I'll get an idea and then if I'm like out, I'll write it down in my notes. Like everything I'm thinking and like ideas I have, and then I'll like get to it as soon as I can when I get home. And it usually starts, with something simple like a chord progression or like a cool sound I find. And then I just like build from there. So yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, again, I asked
How
this.
do you go about? Sorry, how do you go about choosing which artist you want with the sound? Is it something that you've heard of theirs and it kind of goes with the how you see the vibe going,
Yeah,
and do you already have a relationship with these people, or do you just?
that's a good question. For some of the songs I make, like maybe I'll reach out to them beforehand and be like, yo, I want to make a song with you. I really like your sound. And that's how it kind of comes to be. But other times I'll just be at home and I'll make something and I'll be like, this person would sound good on it, like their voice. And then everyone that I've worked with, um, well, not everyone, but most of the people do have their own music out. So I have like a good idea of what they sound like. And then I can just match it to what I make. So, yeah. And then for like knowing the people, I actually met pretty much everyone at my workplace, which I recently just quit. But
Then we won't ask.
I mean, you can ask. Like I worked at Blaze Pizza on campus. I don't know if
Oh,
you have been there.
nice, Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. I think
It seems to attract a lot of musicians. So yeah.
that's good. I was going to say with the glow, one of the sounds that I really like about it is it starts with almost what to me sounds like a waterfall or a water stick or something. It has that amazing summer feel.
Yeah, I definitely like adding like different nature sounds and like sounds that make it more ambient and create like a full like environment. I just feel like it adds so much to like the energy and the vibe of the song. Yeah.
There's and I'll tell you, I love ambient music. I often have leaned more to sort of the harsh ambient,
Mm,
so I love some of your early stuff that's more of the EDM.
yeah.
And because it kind of reminds me at the very end of the night when honestly I probably should have gone home 2 hours earlier but that vibe and it's just a feel good
Mm,
dance vibe, especially after I've listened to, as I said, I like very very loud, very that's what I like.
yeah. Okay.
That how did you get into playing that kind of vibe? Because it's
So basically, one of my friends from work showed me Odessa. I don't know if you know who they are.
mhm.
And I kind of knew who they were in high school, but I only knew their most popular song, Say My Name. I think that's what it is. But then they put out an album in it was 17 or 18.
Okay.
And he got me into that. So then I started listening to it. And then I saw them live like 3 times. And they have had honestly like the biggest influence on my sound. Like they're super ambient, cinematic, and like chill and upbeat. So that's kind of where I got it from.
It is, and I love that aspect, and I love the aspect in your music too. It is very cinematic. It makes you picture a sunny day. It makes you picture something.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can feel yourself walking down the street listening to it, and it's what I like about that kind of music to begin with.
Yeah.
It's the soundtrack to something.
It's definitely it gives you like a lot of visuals, I feel like, and like transports you into like a different world almost.
I feel like that's your psychology seeping into the music there.
Maybe, yeah.
Letting us escape our houses or whatever and giving us that visual out.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe that chilled environment too when we're going, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself doing any videos or getting into really doing soundtracks for movies?
I mean, if the opportunity comes up, I'm not gonna say no.
We'll put the shout out right now then.
It's not something that I'm like currently working on, but I think that would be really cool if like a movie or a TV show used one of my songs in it for sure.
Or if you were even able to work with somebody to create some movies based off it,
I think that'd be really cool for sure.
Yeah. It's so funny because then I think about it, I'm like, I really even just commercials. I mean, and it's hard for me to say that here because I think the music that they use, and the British AdWords are popular for a reason. The ads that they have over there are tremendous.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack to them are often like, do some of those.
Yeah, it would be really cool. Maybe I'll look into it.
just say, well, no, I mean, because it really does have that, just you are able to affect a feel within the listener that I think.
Yeah, I think that's like my biggest goal is to make whoever is listening feel something, whether it's happy or sad or angry or whatever, or calm. I don't know.
I definitely could see the calm and the happy. Yeah. You've got some earlier stuff that's even a little kind of R&B, kind of touching on that.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's the EDM, the end of the night EDM that I think just, that's my vision of it.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own vision, so now. Are you thinking about taking more classes?
I was originally gonna take a couple classes on like mixing and mastering, but everything went virtual, and I'm a horrible learner. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if I were to like take a music class, I would really like for it to be hands-on and in person, because I just think my focus would not be very good if I was just staring at a screen.
No, I can only imagine. No,
Hmm.
you graduated a year ago. Did
Yeah.
you end up doing the last of your degree online?
Yeah. Basically, as soon as we got back from spring break, March 13th or 14th, everything got moved to online. So it was about 2 months online.
You may have seen my roommate walk by a minute ago.
I did.
She has been entirely online for in high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, since March 13th, as you say.
That must be hard. Like I feel like for college, it's kind of nice, honestly, because like walking the campus and like I was a senior at that point, so I was already pretty done with like the whole school thing. But for like a high schooler, like that's when you see your friends and like I don't know, that just seems tough.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I have two in college, and they say the same as you did.
Hmm.
They they go to a colder city. They go to
Oh,
school in Winnipeg, so like, oh, it's the best. We don't have to walk to class.
yeah. Wait, Winnipeg, like in Canada?
Hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm always looking for silver linings of COVID. Do you think you would have had the time to do some of this music had without the pandemic being around us?
Yeah, I actually think things would be very different. I mean, if the pandemic didn't happen, I don't think any of the stuff I made would be here because it just wouldn't, I mean, it just wouldn't have happened, you know? And maybe like other songs would have been made or not because I like do struggle sometimes to like make time because I was in school and then I was working full time.
Hmm.
So I think the pandemic definitely helped me like actually sit down and like focus. So in a way it was good. But I do hope that it goes away.
Yeah.
Well, I
We've
mean,
had enough of that good old. Yeah.
yeah.
I just love to hear anytime that there is something positive that comes out of it.
Mhm. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
there's always something positive that comes out of that stuff. Or well, I don't know, but
So assuming that we get back to being more normal, and we are, where things are opening up, how would you like to be doing music a year from now?
I really want to play live shows. I think it'd be fun just to like start simple and get a few like gigs around the city and then eventually like build up like a true following so that I can like do some sort of tour. But I know that's like kind of out there and probably something for later down the line. That's the goal.
No, I think that that's great. Have you been able to play in front of a live audience
I actually
before yet?
I've never done it and I'm super terrified, but I want to.
I hope you get the opportunity to do it. That would be.
I think my music could be really good for like outdoor festivals, something.
Mhm.
I think it could be good for that. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of, we had Al Church on. Oh God, I think we had him back when we had a radio studio that you could come into. And one of the things he does is he'll play music while a movie plays in the background.
Oh,
He'll
really?
pick something like Dr. Caligari. I think that was one of the ones that he had done, old movies. But
Hmm.
even something like that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
That would be. And then you'd have the advantage of being live and being there and having you know,
Yeah,
having
yeah,
another highlight too. So
hmm,
that's
yeah,
well, and you have a cadre of people that you would be able to play with.
yeah. We actually recently just talked about creating a live set so that we could do like just like a little like makeshift show at like a park. It would be a bit harder because it wouldn't just be like, a guitar and vocals. Like we'd have to set up like speakers and like electric like instruments. So definitely something that would take a while, but I think it's doable for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could always start with some backyards. Most people have power in the back.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah. But
Hmm.
yeah, you'll have to let us know if you do that because I think that, and I think that's exciting.
Yeah, I will.
That well, and now my kind of looking backward, 2-3 years ago, would you have seen yourself doing what you've done so far with music?
Yes and no. Like I feel like I've always had like ambitions and like dreams and goals, and I've always said like, okay, I'm gonna like make a lot of music and like eventually like play live shows and like hopefully like things will start to like really work out. But then I've also had like negative thoughts like, oh, like I'm never gonna like be able to do anything, or like I'm not good, or like, there's always those insecurities that come in my head. But I am like proud of like how far I've come. I didn't think I would get an EP out this year, to be honest, and it happened. So yeah.
It's very impressive, and the work is very impressive. I mean, I doing that kind of ambient, I think takes it takes the skill of it's easy to be loud sometimes, it's harder to be quiet.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I applaud that, to be able to, it takes, I think it's, and not that I don't enjoy hearing some loud screaming music too. I look forward to being at the Turf Club and hearing some loud screaming music, but to be able to hold back, because it's the nuances that really, that tug at the heart, that it's the nuances that lift the spirit. And I think you do a tremendous job of doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Can I ask what some of, for a memory that you've had that sticks out in your head, just how music has touched you, like how in your life, if you have one that stands out?
I guess one that stands out, honestly, most of them are at concerts. I guess one specific one could be my first concert. My first concert was, I was a junior in high school, I think, and I went to see the Kooks down in Chicago, and it definitely just like was such an amazing experience. And after that, it was just concert after concert, and I think like I've been to like probably 100 now or something. So I don't know. It's definitely my favorite activity to do, to go to concerts, and it definitely like, I don't know, it's like a good place to just like let free and forget about everything that's happening, and to just listen to music, dance, and be with friends, So, yeah.
It's easy to be present when you're at a show.
Yeah.
Rather than have, you or whatever else take you somewhere else. It's easy to be focused. Then my other question for you is, what music gives you in your life, or brings you making it, I guess?
A lot. I mean, what are you asking? Like, what like influences my music?
Or just, yeah, what, like the creative or whatever. Like, obviously you said it's your thing too, like concerts, but just the drive to keep you going, or even just how it influences you to make more, or I don't know.
Okay.
Just curious.
I think, well, I definitely enjoy like the process of making it. Like I always get super excited when I think of like an idea and then I can like make it come to life. Like that definitely like motivates me to keep going, because I enjoy it. And then I also really enjoy like showing my friends. Like whenever I finish a song, I immediately like call them in my room and I'm like, you guys gotta listen to this. And I like seeing like people's reactions, and like even like other people, like not my friends, like occasionally like people will like DM me on Instagram and they'll be like, hey, like I came across your music and I really like it. And like it's things like that, like knowing that it like touches people and like makes them feel some sort of way, that helps keep me going. And again, like concerts, like whenever I'm at a concert, I'm like, wow, like this is what I want to do. Like I want to get to a place where like I can play music for other people and make them feel the way that I feel. So that's definitely what keeps me going.
Do you like to hear all different ways people are pulled different, get something different out of the same exact song, and it can be polar opposite?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like people like always have different like reactions to different songs. And I think it's interesting to see what people think for sure. Hmm.
It'll be nice for you to get that in person.
Hmm. It
I'm
definitely.
excited. Yeah, I'm excited for you in that.
Yeah, yeah. You'll have to come to my first show.
Yeah, yeah. I think that will. Well for folks who are listening. Where can they find you online in case you do organize something?
Um, so my Instagram will definitely be the best place. It's just Aibai Tarrant, just my first and last name. I'm not the most active on social media, but I'm working on it. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And my Spotify page will probably have information on it too.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome. Are you working on anything new now?
I actually so I was taking a little break after the EP.
Good for
And
you.
my next goal is to make an album. But I got an email today from a record label asking me to send them demos. I don't know if you've heard of Ninja Tune.
Hmm.
I think they're a London-based independent record label. And Odessa is actually signed to them.
Awesome.
They reached out to me today and they were like, yo, like you should send us some demos. And so I literally was like, oh shoot, like I don't have anything because I was taking a little break. So today I actually just started a song, and after this I'll probably try to finish it because I didn't need to this end.
You are a cool cucumber there. Yay for you!
I appreciate it.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Hmm. Yeah,
I,
definitely super exciting.
that's yeah. That what goes through your head doing that? I mean, do you try to be true to yourself? Do you try to think about what they want?
Yeah, I mean, definitely stressed out, but I definitely am trying to be true to myself. And I honestly, like, I've tried making music where it's like, okay, what do they want? Or what, like, just like trying making music that wasn't really true to myself. And it's hard. Like, I struggle so much when I do that. So then I just always, like, go back to, like, my roots and just do what I'm comfortable, well, not like what I'm comfortable with, but because I do try to, like, get out of my comfort zone and try new things, but just kind of do, like, my own thing, you know?
Well, they're calling you, so yeah, be true to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
one of those you at least want to go down swinging. You want to
Mhm.
be proud of what you've sent, and then if they don't like it, that wasn't the right door.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Oh,
Uh, I hope they like what I have. I'm sure they will.
well, if they wouldn't contact you if they didn't.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, and you never, but that's an awesome first sign.
Yeah. Super exciting.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
If you get that deal, you're gonna do the best pandemic story I've ever heard.
I know. It'll be wild. It'll be super wild.
It's like you and all of the babies that are 3 months old right now. Yeah, that'll be the best. That's amazing. Well, now I feel like you got work to do.
I
We're gonna have to finish this up because you got work to do.
But,
I mean, thank you for joining us, and I'm gonna spell your name for people who just listen to this because if they're gonna try to find you online, and correct me if I'm wrong because it's Aibai.
that is correct. Mhm.
Aibai. So that's for folks who are trying to find that online because it's if you haven't heard it, it's absolutely worth listening to. Listen, I like to listen. Put it on the headphones, go for a walk. I just think it's perfect. So that's
Yeah.
and tell us when you get the contract.
I will. Hopefully.
All right, great.
Hopefully.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I had a good time.
Yeah, very good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.